ladies and gentlemen, as we hear the majestic sounds of the customary drums of Sri Lanka, may I kindly request you to please rise and be upstanding as the ceremonial procession is being led to the hall by the Kandyan dancers and drummers. May I kindly request all of you to please remain standing for the traditional lighting of the oil lamp. And I cordially invite the following dignitaries to please come forward to light the oil lamp and to inaugurate the session. Our chief guest for today, Vidya Jyoti, Senior Professor, Vajira H.W. Disanayaka, Dean, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo. President of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, Dr. D.K.D. Matthew. Senior Past President of the College, Dr. Preeti Gunawardena. Immediate Past President, Dr. Jayantha Jayatissa. Vice President, Dr. Pushpa Vijayasinghe. Honorary Secretary, Dr. Duminda Veeraratne. Honorary Treasurer, Dr. Dilini Barnage. Orator of the MPM Kure College Oration, Dr. K. Chandrasekhar. Chair of the Steering Committee, Dr. Bihan De Silva. Secretary of the Steering Committee, Dr. Dineshani Hettiarachchi. Chairperson of the Scientific Committee, Dr. M.R. Hanifa. Secretary of the Scientific Committee, Dr. R. Gobit. Senior Administrative Officer, Ms. Dumindu Veerasekara. And to take their places at the head table, I cordially invite onto the stage President of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, Dr. D.K.D. Matthew, the Chief Guest, Vidya Jyoti, Senior Professor, Vajira H.W. Disanayaka, the Orator, Dr. K. Chandrasekhar, Senior General Practitioner, and Secretary of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, Dr. Dumindu Vijayawardena. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration ceremony of the 47th Annual Academic Sessions of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, held under the very timely theme, Emerging Challenges in General Practice. It is now my honor to invite the President of the College, Dr. D.K.D. Matthew, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Good morning to all. Our Chief Guest, Professor Vidya Jyoti S.W. Disanayaka, distinguished invitees, colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great pleasure I welcome you all to the 47th Annual Academic Sessions of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka. I am very grateful to you, Professor Vidya Jyoti Vajira S.W. Disanayaka, Dean of the Faculty and Chair and Senior Professor in the Department of Anatomy, Genetics and Biomedical Informatics of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, and currently President of the Sri Lanka Medical Council. Our Chief Guest, for taking time off from your busy schedule to attend the most important event in the annual calendar of the college. The coronavirus pandemic is the single most significant event that has impacted our practices in the past 25 to 30 years. I believe the GPs have managed it robustly given the limited resources. We have cared for our patients from a distance, embracing new technology in the process and enhancing our sanitation practices. We are all aware of the economic storm looming over our precious island, and I feel this will be the biggest emerging challenge we will all have to brave for the next 6 to 12 months, 18 months. The unprecedented cost escalations affecting all areas of our practices, from the tiniest paperclip, coupled with scarcity of medical supplies needed by our patients for the prescribed treatments, will create an extremely challenging environment. We need to identify and eliminate waste, stretch our limited resources, but at the same time, not compromise when caring for our patients. We need to be mindful not to overburden the already suffering and anxious patients who seek our services. I appeal to all my fellow GPs to spare a few extra minutes than we normally do to speak a few comforting words to them. The challenge is to be more human than we are now. The 47th academic sessions consist of both national and international resource persons renowned for their expertise will be a wealth of knowledge for the enhancement of our general practices. I wish to thank them for their commitment and support towards this event. I wish to thank Steering Committee Chairperson Dr. Bihan De Silva, Scientific Committee Chairperson Dr. M. Ruwais Hanifa, and secretaries of the respective committees Dr. Dineshani Hettiarachchi and Dr. R. Gobit, and the respective committee members for their time and dedication in making this event a reality. I thank all past presidents, members of the council, members of the subcommittees, and the staff for all the support extended to make this event a success. I wish to extend a special thank you for all our sponsors who came forward willingly, confirming their commitment to the academic progression of healthcare services in Sri Lanka. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's the address by the chief guest. I cordially invite Dr. D.K. D. Matthew once again to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Vidya Jyoti Senior Professor Vajira H.W. Disanayaka.
Vidya Jyoti Professor Vajira H.W. Disanayaka. Professor Vajira H.W. Disanayaka, MBBS Colombo, PhD Nottingham, Fellow of the National Academy of Sciences of Sri Lanka, Fellow of the International Academy of Health Sciences, Informatics, is the Dean of the Faculty and the Chair and Senior Professor in the Department of Anatomy, Genetics, and Biomedical Informatics of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. He is a pioneer in genetics, genomics, biomedical informatics, and bioethics in Sri Lanka. He is a leading researcher in these fields and has resulted in more than 150 papers and chapters in peer-reviewed national and international journals, and books to his credit with an H index of 19, I-10 index of 53, and a citation count of 1,866. He has supervised 15 PhD students and 60 MSc students. He has received over rupees 400 million rupees in local and international grants. He, together with his students and colleagues, have been the recipient of more than 40 awards for research and innovation at university, national, and international levels. In recognition of his scientific achievements, he was elected a Fellow of the National Academy of Sciences of Sri Lanka in 2013, the youngest Fellow of the Academy at that time. A Fellow of the International Academy of Health Sciences, Informatics in 2020, the first Sri Lankan Fellow of the Academy, and conferred the Sri Lankan National Titular Honour of Vidya Jyoti in 2019. Professor Disanayaka has held many leadership and advisory positions in the field of medicine. He was the president of the Sri Lanka Medical Association in 2012, the youngest person to have held the position. He was the president of the Commonwealth Medical Association from 2016 to 2019. The other leadership positions held by Professor Disanayaka include Honorary Secretary, Sri Lanka Medical Association in 2000 and 2005, Founder Secretary, Health Informatics Society of Sri Lanka, 98 to 2000. President, Health Informatics Society of Sri Lanka, 2009 to 2019. President, Asia Pacific Association for Medical Informatics, 2019-2020. Vice President for Asia Pacific International Medical Informatics Association, 2019-2020. Board Member, Steering Committee, Forum for Ethical Review Committee in Asia and Western Pacific since 2010. Executive Board Member since June 2016 and Chairperson 2022. Global Genomic Medicine Collaborative Chairperson, Commonwealth Center for Digital Health since 2018. Chairperson, Commonwealth Health Professions and Partners Alliance since 2021. The umbrella association of all associations affiliated with the Commonwealth, a member of the Commonwealth Advisory Committee on Health in 2016 to 2017 and 2019 to 2020, a member of the Digital Health Guidelines Development Committee of the World Health Organization, and a member of the roster of experts on digital health of the World Health Organization. He is the current president of the Sri Lanka Medical Council. I invite Professor Wajira H.W. Disanayake to make his.
Good morning, everybody. I'd like to begin by thanking the President and the Council of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka for having invited me to be your chief guest this morning. It's indeed a pleasure to be here. President, dignitaries on the head table, past presidents, fellows, honorary fellows, members of the college, distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen. My mind goes back a long, long time. When I was a student in the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Colombo in the 1990s, the only academic activities outside of the faculty that were happening at the Vijayarama House down Vijayarama Road. And as a second or third year student, I can remember starting to go for those meetings. The monthly clinical meeting at Vijayarama House. There, I met giants in the field of medicine, coming from a background in general practice. Dr. Dennis Aloysius was a colossal figure who made an impression on all of us. Later on, as I took leadership positions in the Sri Lanka Medical Association, he together with others like Dr. Preeti Wijayagunawardena, Dr. Eugene Correa, and many others in your profession, in your specialty, became my mentors and friends. So I grew in the shadow of giants in your field and learned a lot. Later on, people like Ruiz Hanifa also became very closely associated with the work that I did. So I have benefited from the giants in your field who mentored me in so many different ways, as well as from the collegial association with not only those whose names I mentioned, but many others. So I owe a debt of gratitude to the members of your profession for that association. I will also be failing in my duty if I don't mention Eugene, because the work in ethics that we did was influenced by Eugene to a large extent. So, ladies and gentlemen, I mention those words because wherever you are, which part of the profession you are a member of, the interaction that we have with the membership, with the broader medical community is so very important. And there are lessons to be learned, and we will be molded by that association. My mind also goes back to the year 2004, November. I checked up, it was November 4th or 5th, when I was last at one of your conferences. I was there to read a paper to impress upon the general practitioners that they should take more interest in those who are afflicted with genetic disorders, because genetic disorders are lifelong disorders and they cannot be seen in a tertiary care practice and looked after. They have to be looked after in the community. So that was my last appearance on stage at one of your conferences, one of your annual academic meetings. So today, after almost 18 years, I'm pleased that I was invited to be here to address you as your chief guest. Yesterday, in preparation for what I was going to tell you this morning, I gave a round of calls to my friends in the council of your association, the young and the old, and I asked them what are the words of wisdom that the young and the old would like me to echo. And then I asked the young, where would you like to see your profession grow? What I heard from them aligned with my own thinking for what I wanted to say this morning. And therefore, I'd like to share with you a few of those sentiments. They are mine as well as molded by the ideas that your own profession shared with me yesterday. I know that there is an aspiration amongst in the college to work towards a general practice registry for the country. That is a noble aspiration, and as the president of the Sri Lanka Medical Council, I shall do my best to bring about consensus among the relevant stakeholders to ensure that that aspiration is fulfilled. As we move towards a register, we also need to ensure that those who, the opportunities for all members of the profession who are engaged in the general practice field, as it were, either as full-time professionals or part-time private practitioners, have the opportunity to acquire the necessary certification to get registered in that register. So therefore, the adoption of the register should be coupled with opening up and democratizing or liberalizing or whatever you want to call it, access to training in the field. And I see a great opportunity. The Sri Lanka Medical Council has accepted the MCGP qualification of your college and given it the due recognition. Now we have departments of family medicine in almost every university of this medical school, in every university of this country. So with that network, we need to make the access to education, the necessary certification available throughout the country. And that is something that I think we all should work towards. And wearing my other hat of the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Colombo, I would give my fullest support to you to do that, and I would also impress upon the fellow deans of all medical schools in the country to help you in that endeavor. So let's work together, not only on the registry, but also on making it more accessible for people to receive training in general practice, so that they would have the necessary certification to enter the register. Then, moving on to the practice, a few thoughts. You also heard my involvement in the field of digital health. Now today, technology is advancing rapidly. If you go to the medical schools, the newer generation is so tech savvy. The kind of things that they do in our faculties, the younger generation of students, are unbelievable. They are in a different world, as it were. Having been championing the cause of digital health, not only in this country but other places, I find that even I am out of date in terms of some of the things that the younger generation do and the technologies that they use. There is a demand for adoption of those technologies, not only from the younger generation of medical students who will be doctors very soon, but also from the public at large. Therefore, there is a crying need to adopt technology in our practice. That would make access to medicines, access to medical services freer, more uniform across the country. And I urge you to set up a committee that can spearhead that within your field, with the college. Moving on to the practice itself, I think today we live in a society where there is a lot of discontent. That discontent comes from the fact that many people, whoever you are in society, has not been able to fulfill their aspirations. I say even the most powerful person in the country, as well as the most powerless person in this country, you can put names to that, have not been able to fulfill their aspirations in the past 2 to 3 years. They are all in a state of discontent. If you put another dimension, the economic dimension, the richest person to the poorest person has also not been able to fulfill their aspirations. And as a result, there is widespread discontent in society, which is manifesting as anger. And when you lead organizations, especially now, the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo is an organization which has more than 600 staff members, academic, non-academic, and others. You find you are in a situation where there is a lot of discontent. That discontent also would manifest as illnesses in society, illnesses in the community, a lot of mental health issues, and so on. And you are in the forefront of dealing with that societal discontent, which is manifesting in various forms of illnesses, be it you can label them in many forms. Therefore, I think today the role of the doctor as a healer is more required than ever before. And I would urge you to spend time with your patients, especially those who may be returning back to you many a time, repeatedly, with vague complaints, which may be the manifestation of that discontent that they face with. So we need to play that healer role, talk to them and put them at ease wherever we can. I find myself increasingly doing that, not only in a doctor-patient encounter, but also in an employer-employee relationship in dealing with all those people that I meet in a day-to-day life. Then, of course, we also have that in your practice, the fact that you are dealing with people in society, you are the closest to people in society. Taking some words from Eugene, you are, womb to tomb. You have that womb to tomb relationship with them. So there is a long-term relationship that you would be building up with these patients. And today's context, again, I think you have a bigger role that you can play with these patients. Then, of course, the economic issues now, initially it began with the COVID, but the economic issues have also made it an issue where patients are finding it difficult to access healthcare services because of transportation costs and so on. So again, as the profession closest to your community, there is now an opportunity to develop fully fledged general practices around your community. And there is definitely a role for all of you to play in that. And I would be happy to join your college using the various hats that I wear to advocate for that. When I think the primary healthcare project funded by the World Bank came, although there was that aspiration that the primary care would be developed, still there was obviously hesitation towards that. But now I think the perceived need has become a real need, and therefore we must join hands, all of us, to advocate for that. So those are the sentiments, ladies and gentlemen, and ideas that I wanted to place before you today. And I hope that your college in the years to come will grow from strength to strength. And we in the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, the closest faculty to your college, would be happy to deploy our resources fully to help you to expand your academic activities. And in that respect, I'm happy to see my colleague, Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma, receiving a fellowship today. I know my other colleague, Professor Indika Karunatilaka, is also a fellow of your college. I'm happy that our medical education department has got that recognition. I'm sure that is due to that close relationship that we have with your college. So we can work together to make sure that that relationship grows from strength to strength, and that we deploy all our assets, as it were, to help your educational programs. Dr. Ruiz Hanifa and his team in our Department of Family Medicine is also close to you. Ruiz has been playing a pivotal role in that relationship, I presume, and that we are expanding our facilities in our new UCFM Tower building with the expansion of family medicine services. Those two can become training grounds for those who are aspiring to join your profession in the years to come. So with that, we'll be happy to work together with your college, and I wish you, all of you, many happy years of growth and prosperity, and I invite you in the future to move your meetings to our new venues that we have created in the faculty, which would, I think, become win-win situation, because we can then, with that, we can open up your meetings to our students and make take the message of the profession to the younger students as well as those who are graduating. So more and more would aspire to become properly certified, properly trained, and enter your profession and enter the general practice registry that we will set up together as fully certified members of the register. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that very inspiring address. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be awarding the honorary fellowships. The College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka take great honor in awarding the honorary fellowship to Professor Gomanda Ponnamperuma. And I cordially invite Dr. K. Chandrasekhara to read the citation of the recipient of this honorary fellowship.
Good morning, everybody. Mr. President, I consider it a great privilege to introduce to this august assembly Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma, who is to be bestowed the honorary fellowship of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka this year. Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma currently serves as the head of the Department of Medical Education, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. His association with the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka goes back to more than a decade. I recall with immense gratitude the advice, support, and guidance that he gave us when we commenced our mentoring program a decade ago. He was a pillar of strength, along with several others who were instrumental in guiding us to develop the homegrown mentoring program of the college. Since then, Professor Gominda has been associated with the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka in many ways. Most recently, he is acting as an advisor in developing the modules of palliative care for general practitioners, which are currently being developed by the Faculty of Teachers of the college. After completing his medical degree and serving in Sri Lanka in various positions, he proceeded to the Centre for Medical Education, University of Dundee, Scotland, and the United Kingdom for his master's degree, which he completed with distinction in 2014. He subsequently obtained his PhD in 2009 in medical education from the same university. Upon returning to Sri Lanka, he served in many capacities in the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, including chairman of the Curriculum Development and Evaluation Committee from 2020 to date. He currently serves as the director of Center for Quality Assurance of University of Colombo. Professor Gominda is the current president of the College of Medical Educationists of Sri Lanka, a co-opted member of the Accreditation Unit of Sri Lanka Medical Council, consultant to the National Education Commission, and a founding member of the Institute of Research and Development for Health and Social Care. He is the founder co-chair of the Asia Pacific Medical Education Network, an organization dedicated to promoting scholarship in medical education. Professor Gominda has served as an invited resource person for many medical education conferences and workshops in India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, Oman, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, and the United Kingdom. He serves on the editorial boards of 4 international medical education journals, namely the Medical Education Online, BMC Medical Education, Korean Journal of Medical Education, and the Journal of Dow University of Health Sciences. He has also authored or co-authored over 65 international peer-reviewed journal publications. The chapter on workplace-based assessment in the Oxford Textbook of Medical Education is among the 20 books and book chapters he has authored or co-authored. Professor Gominda has won the Presidential Merit Award for Scientific Publications from the President of Sri Lanka in 2013, 2014, and 2015, and delivered the 6th PGIM oration in 2013. He has been awarded visiting professorships by the University of Tokyo, Japan in 2011, King Saud University, Saudi Arabia from 2015 to date, and the National University of Singapore from 2021 to date. Mr. President, I have great pleasure in presenting to you Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma for the award of Honorary Fellow of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka.
Thank you, sir. The College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka take great honor in awarding the honorary fellowship to Professor Suranjit Senivaratne, who is joining us virtually today. And I cordially invite Dr. D.K.D. Matthew once again to read Professor Suranjit Senivaratne's citation and to award the honorary fellowship.
I am privileged to be given the opportunity of introducing Professor Suranjit Senivaratne, DPhil Oxford, MBBS, MD, DPath, MRCP Path, MRCP, FRCP, FRCP Path, FCCP, Professor and Consultant in Clinical Immunology and Allergy, Institute of Immunity and Transplantation and Health Services Laboratories, London, UK, who is to be awarded the Honorary Fellowship of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka this year. He was closely associated with the college academically, contributing with valuable research articles to the college newsletter and the Sri Lanka Family Physician Journal of the college. He kept us abreast of the coronavirus progression. Also, he has shared his academic research papers with our membership. Professor Suranjit Senivaratne is currently at the Institute of Immunity and Transplantation, Royal Free Hospital and University College London, Health Services Laboratories London, UK. He completed his basic medical degree at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo with first-class honours, 8 distinctions and 10 gold medals, and was placed first in his year. He completed his MD in internal medicine and trained in clinical immunology and allergy at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford. He completed a Doctor of Philosophy in Molecular Medicine at the Weatherall Institute of Molecular Medicine, University of Oxford, as a Commonwealth Scholar. So far, he has authored 275 journal publications and has an H-index of 44. He has published in journals such as Nature, Science, Nature Medicine, Blood, American Journal of Medicine, Genetics, American Journal of Human Genetics, Journal of Experimental Medicine, and Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology. Professor Senivaratne is an international expert in immunodeficiency, autoimmune, allergic, mast cell disorders, and immunogenetics. He is the director of the Center for Mast Cell Disorders and the president of the UK Sri Lanka Immunology Foundation, an organization that contributes to immunology and allergy education in Sri Lanka. He is a fellow of the Royal College of Physicians, Royal College of Pathologists, Royal Society of Medicine, and Ceylon College of Physicians, and a council member of the Sri Lanka Medical and Dental Association and the Sri Lanka Leukemia Foundation, UK. I have great pleasure in presenting Professor Suranjit Senivaratne for the award of Honorary Fellowship of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka.
Thank you, sir. May I kindly call upon Dr. Dumindu Wijewardena, Secretary of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning. President of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, Council members, past presidents, trustees, members, fellows of the college, chief guest, orators, special invitees, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka and the Steering Committee of the Scientific Sessions, I welcome each and every one of you to the 47th Annual Academic Sessions 2022. The Congress of this year is based on the emerging challenges in general practice. As the topic suggests, through this Congress and the current situation of the socio-economic crisis in the country, the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka intend to seek and deliver knowledge on emerging challenges towards rendering quality primary care. A good general practitioner should not only be able to give quality, cost-effectiveness, patient-centered and holistic care, but also correctly identify any emerging challenges and make the best decision that would be benefit for the patient. The College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka is privileged by the presence of chief guest, Vidyajyothi Professor Vajira H.W. Disanayaka, President, Sri Lanka Medical Council, the Chair and the Senior Professor in the Department of Anatomy, Genetics, Biomedical Informatics, and the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, for gracing this occasion with his busy schedules. I would like to take this opportunity to thank President of College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, Dr. D.K.D. Matthew, for this exemplary leadership for inspiring our team with his years of quality experience. The prestigious event would not be able to reality if not dedicated and hard work of steering committee. Special thanks to steering committee led by Dr. Bihan De Silva and scientific committee led by Dr. Ruiz Hanifa for the excellent teamwork in making this event greater success. I would like to thank members of the council and the members of the CGPSL who guided and supported our team in numerous ways. At the same time, my heartiest congratulations goes to the new honorary fellows of the college, Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma and the Professor Suranjit L. Senuratne, and the orators, Dr. K. Chansekar and the Dr. Kame Fernando Pulle. I would also like to appreciate the office staff for all the hard work they have put in. Finally, I wish to thank all the sponsors for their contribution towards making the 47th Annual Academic Sessions College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka a reality. I'm hopeful that you will enjoy the academic sessions this year, network and learn from one another, benefits from proceedings, identify the importance of emerging challenges in general practice during this situation of socio-economic crisis in the country. By exploring dimensions of improvement of workforce, discover new models of general practice with technological innovations and understand demands and public expectations which would in turn to make you a good quality doctor, a friend, advisor, confident to your client. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Dr. Dumindu. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the highlight of today's session, which is awarding of the prestigious Dr. M.P.M. Kure Memorial Medal and the college oration. The orator this year is Dr. K. Chandrasekhara, Senior General Practitioner. To do the honors, may I kindly call upon Dr. D.K. D. Matthew, President of the College, to award the medal and welcome the orator. Thank you, sir.
I consider it is a great privilege to introduce today's orator, Dr. Krishnamurthy Chandrasekhar, whom I know for the past almost 10 years. Dr. Krishnamurthy Chandrasekhar completed his secondary education at St. Benedict's College, Colombo 13, and graduated with second-class honors from the Faculty of Medicine, Jaffna, as a member of the first batch of students who passed out in 1983. Having completed his internship at the North Colombo Teaching Hospital, Ragama, he worked there till 1989, including a stint at the Professorial Unit of Medicine of the North Colombo Medical College. After a 2-year stint in New Zealand, he returned to Sri Lanka due to family exigencies and joined the Grandpa's Maternity and Nursing Home, better known as Suleiman's Hospital, where he served as a medical officer for nearly 10 years. While working at Suleiman's in 1991, he started a part-time general practice in Colombo 13 after leaving the services of Suleiman's Hospital in 2000. He converted his part-time practice into a successful full-time practice which continues to date. Shekhar, as he is known among his colleagues, completed his postgraduate diploma in family medicine in 2001 and his postgraduate diploma in medical education in April 2013. To cater to the needs of his general practice patients and to further his own interest in obesity-related issues, he started a weight reduction clinic in his own practice in 2007, which he continues to conduct successfully with a qualified dietitian. Shekhar has been an active member of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka since 2004 and has served in all council positions, right from a council member to the president. He was the president of the college from 2013 to 2015. He is also a fellow of the college. He remembers with gratitude the numerous opportunities given to him to provide leadership and play active roles in many projects of the college. Some of the projects initiated by the college where he participated actively and which are dear to his heart include the following: Task Force on Disaster Management that was formed just after the tsunami in 2004 to rehabilitate the victims. He served as Assistant Secretary, Joint Secretary, and as member of this dedicated team. The calendar project, done twice in 2006 and 2014 with slogans in all 3 languages, which had the twin aims of portraying the unique qualities of a general practitioner and promoting the concepts of family medicine to the patients of college members, was distributed island-wide to all members of the college. The publication of the desktop directory with valuable information for the use of members of the college. This directory was first published when Shekhar was the Honorary Secretary in 2007 of the college. It was published when Shekhar was President of the college in 2013. In this second launch, the current president played a pivotal role in the publication committee, and the profits from the second publication were used as a seed funding for a building fund for the college. Launching the Talk to Your Neighbor project in 2018 with the objective of popularizing 12 important messages on non-communicable diseases to the community. Shekhar was the chairperson of the project, which was given wide coverage by the mass media and helped to raise the profile of the college in the eyes of the public. Shekhar is a founder member and treasurer of the Palliative Care Association of Sri Lanka since its inception in September 2014. He is also a founder member of the College of Palliative Medicine of Sri Lanka, founded in October 2021, and currently serves as a council member. He plays an active role in the MCGP board of the college, having acted as the honorary secretary of the board for 3 years from 2017 to 2021. He is also a general practice trainer, lecturer, mentor, and examiner of the MCGP program and examination, he has continued to play an active role in the mentoring program from its inception. Shekhar is the medical advisor of Cinnamon Grand for the last 14 years and Cinnamon Red Hotels, where in addition to caring for the health of staffs and guests in need of medical advice, he has been involved in standardizing and upgrading several hotel activities and processes from a medical perspective. He has been closely associated with the Reverend Mother Teresa's Missionaries of Charity since 1987 and continues to serve as an honorary physician in treating the Reverend Sisters as well as the inmates of Shanti Nivasa at Modala, the home for the poorest of the poor. He treasures a photograph he has taken with Mother Teresa, a letter Mother had written to him with her blessings on the occasion of his wedding in 1988, and a piece of last sari that the Reverend Mother wore before her death. His academic and professional publications include the following: a co-authored paper with Professor L. Jayaratna titled An Analysis of Patients Subjected to Gastroscopic Examination in the Professorial Unit Medicine of the North Colombo Medical College, Ragama, which was presented at the Gastroenterological Society Sessions 1987. A joint study with the late Dr. D.N. Athukorala using a questionnaire survey-based study of 3,000 subjects on the awareness of the attitudes towards leprosy, which was presented at the Sri Lanka Medical Association annual sessions in May 1989 and received the S.C. Seneviratne Award for the best paper out of a total of 95 papers. A chapter on medical records for a textbook of family medicine published by the Indian Medical Association, Chennai in 2011. 2 manuals of mentoring with members of the Faculty of Teachers of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, published in 2012 and 2014. Publishing a set of guidelines in 2020 during the COVID pandemic for the use of general practitioners that covered aspects related to looking after a COVID patient, home care for the family and the caregiver. Conceptualizing and authoring the book on home care for COVID patients in 2021 with the active support from many members of the college and experts in the field. Principal author of the book Touch of Tender Loving Care, Introduction to Basic Palliative Nursing Care for Family Members, to be published shortly. The Council of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka has unanimously decided to invite Dr. K. Chandrasekhar to deliver the prestigious college oration for the year 2022. I call upon Dr. Chandrasekhar to accept the MPM Kure Medal for the college orator and deliver his oration.
Good morning, everybody, again. Thank you, Mr. President, for those kind words of introduction. Dr. Darrell Matthew, President of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, distinguished past presidents, council members, fellows of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, members of the college, members of the family of late Dr. MPM Kure, distinguished guests and friends, ladies and gentlemen. There is no better honor to be bestowed on the member of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka than to be invited by the Council to deliver the Dr. MPM Kure oration on this august occasion of the inauguration of the 47th academic sessions of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka. I am deeply humbled and honored for being selected to deliver the Dr. MPM Kure oration this year in front of this distinguished gathering of medical professionals and guests. It is appropriate at this juncture to speak a few words about this illustrious physician, Dr. MPM Kure. He began his medical education at the Ceylon Medical College and then proceeded to United Kingdom and graduated from the University of London. He served in the health department as a physician in charge of Fever Hospital, Angoda. During his illustrious career, he was involved in research as well, and some of the papers were published in Sri Lanka Family Physician. He retired at the age of 50 years and became a general practitioner. He was a founder president of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka. He held this post from 1974 to 1979. He also held the post of president in the Sri Lanka Medical Association as well as the Independent Medical Practitioners Association. Dr. M.P.M. Kure devoted his presidential address in 1977 to the role of general practitioners in the community. In his lecture, he addressed the importance of patient-oriented medicine opposed to the disease-oriented medicine, which he stressed should be taught early in the medical career. I hope that the topic of the day would be a fitting tribute to this eminent doctor. A person from birth till death needs advice and guidance in his or her personal and professional life. Those who shape our life at different phases include our parents, siblings, teachers, coaches, supervisors, advisors, and our superiors, who have played important roles in our life, aiding us developing our personality. We also try to emulate different personalities whom we look up to. So, why do we need a mentor in addition? A mentor may be a trusted confidant or guide, or perhaps has been appointed for specific purpose in our professional and personal life. We may encounter the latter many a times depending on the need. The mentor is usually an experienced individual who shares knowledge, experience, and advice with a less experienced person or mentee. He or she guides the mentee in the development and re-examination of their own ideas, learning, personal development, and professional development. Mentoring is a relationship between two people with the goal of professional and personal development. So, in short, a mentoring relationship can be identified as a personal, learning, and developmental relationship. The purpose of a mentor is to help you grow as a person and become the best version of yourself. How did this concept of mentoring start, and how did it find its way into the medical field in the world and in Sri Lanka? In my talk, I propose to briefly present the history and the different types of mentoring. I also propose to elaborate upon the pioneering efforts of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, CGPSL, in commencing a mentoring program in the medical field of Sri Lanka exactly 10 years back. I will then discuss the challenges we faced and the solutions found, as well as evaluation done up to now and my recommendations. We have come a long way since then. We had our share of successes and failures in running the program. We have introspected, learned from our mistakes, corrected them, and are committed to continuous improvement to make the program more valuable, beneficial, and satisfying to both the mentees and mentors. I am very grateful to the pioneers at the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka who started this program, and the younger members in the mentoring committee and the mentor pool for their enthusiasm. Their commitment and hard work continue to reinforce the reputation of the college as a visionary academic institution that had the instinctive foresight 10 years back to realize the critical importance of mentoring in the medical field. I am fortunate and humbled to have been given the opportunity to be part of this program from its inception, being the first chairperson of the college mentoring committee. Successful mentoring relationships go through 4 phases: preparation, negotiating, enabling growth and closure. These sequential phases build on each other and vary in length. The mentoring relationship should be based on trust, confidentiality, mutual respect, and sensitivity. The relationship should be based on agreed boundaries and ground rules that address the power differentials between the mentor and mentee. Plutarch, a Greco-Roman philosopher, stated that mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. It is this principle that should sit at the heart of mentoring. But mentoring schemes vary widely and can be very complex, requiring considerable training or very light touch, as with many of our transition in peer mentoring schemes. But in all cases, the mentor should treat the mentee as the focal point. Adopting, internalizing, and showcasing this mindset requires considerable skills on the part of the mentor. The key principles of being a mentor can be summarized as follows, which is shown in this slide. Mentoring should be structured, and the relationship should be based on certain principles, agreed boundaries, and ground rules. Mentor should not hesitate to get outside assistance and use supporting resources if needed. They should allow the mentee to identify goals and challenges and drive the relationship. Mentors also should acknowledge the benefits they gain from the process of mentoring. Mentors encourage and enable another person's professional or personal development. A mentor can help focus their efforts by setting goals and giving feedback. Let us try to understand very briefly the advantages accrued by a mentee as well as the mentor. These are given in this slide for better clarity. Mentoring with a genuine passion in mind can bring about great benefits to the mentors as well. There are several, and I would like to highlight some of the more important reasons in brief, which is shown in this slide. There are three types of mentoring, namely traditional one-to-one mentoring. A mentee and a mentor are matched either through a program or on their own. Distance mentoring, a mentoring relationship in which the two parties or group are in different locations. Group mentoring, a single mentor is matched with a cohort of mentees. The Encyclopedia Britannica states that Odyssey, an epic in 24 books written by Homer, the ancient Greek poet and philosopher, has the origins of the term mentor. Scholars date the writing to about 7th to 8th century before Christ. The word mentor as a noun comes from the generalization of the characteristics of mentor in Odyssey. In English, nouns frequently become verbs and vice versa. Before leaving for war, Odysseus hands over to mentor, an old friend of his, the duty of looking after his infant son Telemachus, so that in case he doesn't return from war, Telemachus could be groomed to take over the reins and be the king. I would like to also mention the king of Ithaca was Odysseus, and he was involved in the famous Trojan War with Troy. and returned to Ithaca 20 years later from the war to take over the reins. During his absence only, what I said happened. So Mentor had two jobs on his hands, which are given in this slide. Meanwhile, Euthena, the divine Greek goddess of wisdom, disguises or takes over the shell of the body of Mentor to hide herself from the suitors of Penelope, mother of Telemachus. She guides young Telemachus on his own personal growth and provides divine inspiration and social advice. Euthena also plays an important role as peacemaker and advises all parties on how to end the war and attain the benefits of peace. This is the third role of an elder person of wisdom. This part of the story brings out the true role of mentorship. Mentoring became the new way to help the women progress more quickly in their careers. By the mid-1990s, the practice of mentoring in the workplace had gained additional popularity and acceptance and became more common. This helped those mentored to maximize their potential, develop their skills, improve their performances, and become the person they want to be. So in short, being mentored is believed to have an important influence on personal development, career guidance, and career choice. The nursing profession began its relationship with mentoring in 1970s when Vance introduced the concept into the literature. In their work, Vance and Olson said that the role of mentors as role models, guides, teachers, coaches, or confidants. Mentoring skills are very valuable assets for academic medicine and allied health faculty, who influence and help shape the careers of the next generation of health providers. The advantages identified in a systemic review of mentoring in academic medicine are given here. In 1978, David J. Levinson headed the publication of The Seasons of Man's Life that stated mentorship is a critical relationship in an individual's life. Despite the benefits of mentorship, literature also indicates that access to mentors can be very challenging. A review of the literature from 1966 to 2002 stated that mentoring becomes less common upon formal training completion. It was identified that during the third and fourth year, students, perceived as a critical period in the development of young physicians, only 36% were having mentors. The reasons may be linked to the faculty isolation, lack of interpersonal collaboration, increased stress, burnout, and higher rates of staff turnover. As a professional organization of family physicians, the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka firmly believes in raising the benchmark in everything we do. I strongly believe that this would make us an organization that lives its professional values through clear and robust practical initiatives. The exercise of initiating the mentoring program was rooted in this thinking and was aimed at guiding our mentees to become effective general practitioners who could consistently deliver quality care to our patients. I would like to spend the next few minutes taking all through the journey of the mentoring program of the CGPSL in the last 10 years. I wish to discuss the progress we made from inception. We have had 12 workshops for the mentors up to now. The 13th one is on its way, and about 5 days back, the mentoring committee decided on same. I will mention the important elements we identified and followed for a safe and effective mentoring program. The program design followed in each workshop to incorporate that element. Outcomes achieved and memorable achievements of each workshop. These are the steps: identifying the need and determining the program design, structuring the mentoring subcommittee and implementing the program, training the mentors and evaluation, developing the mentor training manual, expanding the pool, gaining experience, reflecting, evaluating, and fine-tuning to ensure continuity. The details of the first to fourth workshop are given here in this slide to enable you gain preliminary insights. The special invitees for this first workshop were Professor Narada Varnasurya, Dr. B.J.C. Pereira, late Professor Carlo Fonseca. This workshop was attended by about 63 practitioners of our college. Since we at CGPSL were new to this concept at that time, it should be noted with gratitude that the invaluable support given to us in form of advice and presentations at the initial workshops of the mentoring program of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka by Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma and Professor Indika Karunatilaka of the Forum of Sri Lanka Medical Educationists, also known as FOSME, which gave us the confidence to move forward. The FOSME later blossomed as the College of Medical Educationists. A mentoring subcommittee was then formally appointed by the Council, which met on the 13th of January 2013, and I consider it a privilege to have been the first chairperson of this committee. Herewith, I give you the details of the first minutes of the first meeting of the subcommittee. The next few slides show some major milestones of the program. This shows the first handbook of mentoring prepared after the second workshop. A brochure on frequently asked questions for mentees was also prepared and distributed to the mentees once it was decided to start the mentoring program for the 2012-2014 MCGP batch of students. The brochure is shown in this slide. A new edition of the Handbook on Mentoring, which was published in November 2014 after the fourth workshop, was distributed to the mentors. The areas covered in this manual are given in this slide. The aim was to help the mentors to interact, guide, and help the mentees in preparing their portfolios in a professional manner. The main aim of the MCGP mentoring program is to guide the mentees to progress through the MCGP program in a well-planned and practical manner, as well as to assist them to prepare quality portfolios. As a further step, guidelines on recruiting new mentors to the pool were developed using the criteria which are given in this slide. This ensured the mentor was reasonably trained and was comfortable and confident before taking up the responsibility of mentoring. Furthermore, it was stipulated that the person who is a mentor should attend at least 2 workshops during a period of 2 years to be eligible to continue as a mentor to ensure the quality of mentoring. The 5th mentoring workshop was held on the 18th of January 2015 to introduce the concept on professionalism and its relevance to membership mentoring. One of the main speakers in this forum who addressed the mentors at the workshop on professionalism, along with college members, was Professor Madhava Chandratilaka, the then senior lecturer of medical education at University of Kelaniya. The 6th mentoring workshop on the 1st of November 2015, 8 important documents shown in this slide were presented to the mentors with the idea of familiarizing them to these documents so that they can help the mentees more effectively in the preparation of the portfolio. Professor Indika Karunatilaka, Professor, Department of Medical Education, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, was also a resource person in this workshop. The 7th workshop held on the theme, "Are we on the correct track?" is a significant one as it was conducted by the mentoring committee members themselves to introspect on the work done thus far. The outcomes achieved are given here. The 8th workshop on coaching, training and mentoring was held on the 18th of June 2017. The main resource person was Dr. Charuni Senanayaka, an internationally accredited mentor. This workshop was aimed at providing clearer insights into the differences and relationships between coaching, training, and mentoring, as shown here. The 9th workshop was held on the 12th of August 2018, all along the same lines of the 7th workshop at the request of new mentors who have been absorbed into the pool. Meanwhile, the mentoring committee was also conducting annual workshops for the mentees. The mentors were also invited to participate. Here, the focus was on discussing and evaluating the 8 important documents which I showed before. The mentees were also asked to present their work done, especially on the reflective and ethics component of the portfolio, which was followed by a discussion on how to improve the work done by the mentees. The 10th and 11th workshops were organized as combined mentor-mentee workshops in 2019 and 2020, with the latter being conducted online due to the COVID pandemic. Although this combined format was productive, it was challenging, since the interest and expectations of the two groups were different, and it was not easy to conduct the workshop to the satisfaction of both the mentors and mentees. Yes, we learned from our mistakes. Since then, the college has reverted back to having separate workshops for mentees and mentors. The 12th virtual mentor workshop was held on the 21st of November 2021. A different format was adopted, and the details of which are given here. This workshop was well received, and the attendees participated actively as they were problem-solving sessions. As an appreciative gesture, the mentors were recognized during the 6th batch MCGP convocation ceremony held on 2021. Certificates of appreciation for being mentors of the 6th batch of MCGP graduates were awarded in this ceremony. Based on the experience gained in mentoring, proposals were made to college to laterally expand the mentoring program to suit evolving needs. This homegrown thinking has now led to 2 fresh initiatives, namely the membership mentoring and the general practice or GP mentoring. The concept of membership mentoring was introduced by the mentoring committee in 2015. This was approved unanimously by the council. The details of the procedure are given here. The aim of this membership program was to look at the relevant aspects of the members' practicing skills, as well as an overall grading of the individual himself or herself, and guide the prospective member based on guidelines prepared for this purpose. The third element of the mentoring program of the CGPSL was the general practice mentoring to ensure quality general practice, the details of which are given here. Although the concept has been developed, adequate momentum has not gathered for its widespread adoption. We are of the firm belief that it would be very valuable concept, especially to young doctors setting up general practice, when the register for general practitioners become a reality. This initiative should be implemented by the Sri Lanka Medical Council by inviting medical practitioners, full-time or part-time, interested in general practice with an active registration under Section 29 of the Medical Ordinance to submit their names for registration. This would initially include all doctors, full-time and part-time in general practice, with or without postgraduate qualifications. The CGPSL is in touch with the Sri Lanka Medical Council in this regard. No initiative is without challenges. We always remember that. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. Evaluation of the mentoring program has been an embryonic stage until recently. I am proud to say that we have progressed in our own small but special way and would like to share some details in the next few slides. This hopefully will give you an idea how we identified the problems and tried to bring in newer ways of making the program more effective. We are planning to make the evaluation process much stronger in the future, and this initiative has already begun with the 7th batch that completed the exam 2 months back. You will see some of these details in the following slides. A general questionnaire was administered by the MCGP board 2 years back, covering the whole MCGP program and examination. A comment by a trainee on the mentoring segment is given here for your kind attention. Interesting, isn't it? The next few slides, which are self-explanatory, show some responses we received when we conducted telephone interviews on a random basis with 15 mentors. The positive aspects are given here. The negative aspects are here. Some mentees do not contact them early, the mentors are saying. Some call and try to fix up appointments at short notice. Some are not serious in their program. And mentees should be informed that their portfolios will not be signed if they come at last moment. These are some of the responses given when a telephone interview was conducted with the mentors. And suggestions to improve, more interactive workshops, yes, we are doing it. Discuss practical problems, yes, we are doing it. Allocate mentors and mentees from the same area, easily said than done. We are trying our level best. Can have one mentor, more than one mentor for a mentee, very interesting point. Mentors should pay visit to mentees' practices, shows the mentor's commitment. They want to go there physically, see the practices, and help them to improve. Getting mentees' feedback on mentors so that they can better themselves, again shows the commitment of the mentors. Make the mentor program part of the MCGP program so that the mentees are more serious with the mentoring program. More recognition for mentors must be considered. Yes, we are looking into it. I will be next sharing some slides which are self-explanatory. You can go through that while I am presenting them. This will give you some insight on some important aspects of the mentoring program as perceived by the mentees. This feedback was obtained through an administration of a questionnaire to the mentees about 3 months back. Please remember, total anonymity with respect to the feedback was assured. How many encounters they have had during the full program? About 70% have said more than 4. Did your mentor meet the expectations? A rosy 100%. Let's see the reasons. Please give the reasons in point form. They were very helpful, good listeners, appreciate their dedication. They shared their experiences. They helped us to understand the different components so that we could cruise through the portfolio very confidently. Give your suggestions to ensure the mentoring program to be more productive. Again, mentor close to residents of trainee comes there, figures out there. Importance of mentoring program at the beginning itself. Yes, we have started that with the orientation program of the new batch. Any other comments you would like to make? They have said, it's motivating to see the mentors doing their best. Mentor must be rewarded. Again, it figures. Okay, let's see what can be done. No new initiative is without challenges. We always remembered that. I would now like to briefly touch on some of the challenges we faced and how they were overcome, which is also self-explanatory. The top portion shows the problem and then the bottom the solutions. This has certainly helped us to move forward to the next level of our mentoring program. In addressing these challenges, we have looked at the issues from the perspective of both mentors and mentees, using evidence gathered during our evaluation process. I need to stress on something. If you see that second problem, mentor not sure and did not have information requested, this has been, I think, minimized by having regular workshops for the mentors. And another interesting thing, recruiting young mentors to the mentor pool. Who are these young mentors? These are the people who have gone through the MCGP program. So they were mentees at one point. So they understand the problems of mentees better than the senior mentors. So by doing that, I think we have sorted out that problem a lot. No interest shown by the mentor who was reluctant to share information. At this point, I need to stress the point that mentoring program will not be successful unless there is commitment from mentors and mentees. Mentors, yes, recruiting younger mentors has sorted out the problem and also having more workshops for the mentors. How do we sort out the mentee side? Please remember they are adult learners, so it has to be done very diplomatically. So we have made them understand the importance of the mentoring program quite early during the orientation program, as I said. A self-assessment progress review form given to the mentees at regular intervals. What is this form? This form has all the components of the MCGP program. And the trainees have to fill this form from time to time. After filling it, they have to meet their mentor, discuss with them, get their feedback, get their advice, and these forms have to be attached to the final portfolio. By doing this, we have made the mentor-mentee interaction takes place more frequently. And also, we have made it mandatory that if the portfolio is not signed by the mentor as fit for submission, it would not be sent to the examination for review, which means they cannot sit for their portfolio viva. So these are some of the ways we have sorted out that problem. Mentee does not seem to know what was required of the mentor. This has become less because of conducting workshops for the mentees as well, as I pointed out. And the other thing we did was, we got the mentees of the past, that is the people who have got through the MCGP exam, to come and address the present batch, that is the new mentees. Recently graduated people, when they come and talk and tell about the relationship and value of the mentoring program, the now present mentees understand it better. It is like getting it from the horse's mouth, I suppose. Then the last problem was finding mutually convenient times for meetings. This we sorted out by telling them that minimum of 3 times you have to meet your mentor during the 2-year period. Rest of it can be virtual. So those are the ways we sorted out those problems. No program is perfect, and I think we too could improve further from where we are. The willingness of the mentoring committee to accept the above fact has led to critical analysis of our practices, experience, and shortcoming in our mentoring program since its launching nearly 10 years back. This introspection has led to new understanding that has helped us to improve our program and move forward. I would like to share some of these suggestions, the first slide is here, with you and my colleagues in the mentoring committee for critical analysis and discussion, which I firmly believe would take this treasured program of ours to the next level. We have been also deliberating on how to make the mentor an important part of the MCGP program and in the assessment process, so that they are not treated as an add-on but as an important contributor. A mentor-mentee relationship entails work, commitment, and follow-through on both sides if it has to be successful. Mentorship can provide numerous benefits for mentors and their mentees, as mentioned above. Developing this relationship can help both to gain fresh professional and expert insights, build networks, and grow as better professionals. Starting a new program and sustaining it for 10 years and growing stronger is no simple matter, and this attitude of perseverance is intrinsic in our college culture. I hope our younger colleagues will strengthen this further. I recommend the following to the mentoring committee for their kind consideration. The three classic components of mentoring are continuous education, personal support, and professional development. We should peruse on all three. A mentoring program will not succeed unless there is commitment on the part of both the mentor and mentee. The commitment comes from the mentee's side if they know what is expected from the program and what they gain due to this relationship. It would be advisable to have a booklet for the mentee, manual for the mentee, similar to what we have for the mentors. Documentation of the mentor-mentee interaction by both parties would ensure continuity as well as make both feel comfortable. Some might feel it is a little cumbersome or restricting our thinking, but I differ from that thinking after browsing through the literature. The reasons for this are as follows. Most of the mentors feel vulnerable and on trial when first meeting their mentee. Although well versed in the art of interviewing patients, working with their peers is completely different. Documentation helps in that. Mentoring should be considered as a professional activity. A comfortable view of mentors as facilitators was tempered with the less comfortable notion that they might also have to be all-wise and all-knowing. However, potential mentors seem to know instinctively that mentoring was more than just conversing and befriending. The reflective cycle supports the fragile process of the opening interview, which is the first contact in the process. And the documentation helps in that until they cement their relationship and are comfortable with one another and are moving forward. At the beginning, many mentors might feel more vulnerable and less certain, conscious of being assessed. He or she is likely to succumb to the easier option of superficial conversation. The document seeks to balance this aspect and helps the mentor to improve. Appointing a coordinator for the mentoring program, similar to the coordinator we have for the MCGP program, with some type of honorarium respecting the professional time spent, will be an encouragement to the coordinator. This would give a clear direction to the program. I wish to conclude my presentation with a quote which always inspires me when I look back with pride on many things that we have achieved in the college as a team, as well as what I have achieved in my personal life. It is better to look back on life and say, I cannot believe I did that, than to look back and say, I wish I had done that. This is what our college has done many a times in the past, and I am proud to be part of it. I sincerely hope this trend will continue. I dedicate this oration to the following. My dear mother, who was my first mentor, my college, who made me who I am today, my mentors who helped me in many ways to groom me and are still grooming me, my younger colleagues who continue to inspire me and are involved in reverse mentoring with me. A point to be considered by the mentoring committee, reverse mentoring. I will be failing in my duty if I do not thank with gratitude the following, who helped in numerous ways to bring this oration a reality. Dr. Joel Fernando, who inspired me to do this oration and helped me with the title. Professor Gominda Ponnamperuma, Professor, Department of Medical Education, Faculty of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka, who amidst his busy schedule gave me very valuable support, reviewed my script, and came out with lots of constructive ideas to improve it. My elder brother, Professor K. Ramanathan, although in Sydney, Australia, spent valuable time of his in enhancing the contents of the presentation. My dear daughter, Nivedita, to whom I owe a lot for patiently going through the script and helping me with the PowerPoint presentation. Incidentally, the logo of the mentoring program was created by her 10 years back. Dr. Eugene Correa for his usual candid but very valuable input after browsing through the presentation. Dimuthu and Nimi, the office staff, who readily helped me in obtaining and analyzing some important details as to the mentoring program of the college, including the questionnaire analysis. The President and the Council of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, who gave me permission to use the details of the history of mentoring program of the college. My dear wife Saro and my second daughter Aishwarya for their continuous encouragement and for being my critical audience. My references are this. I wish to thank you all for a patient listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for that very interesting oration, including some historic aspects of mentoring. We have now reached the end of the inauguration ceremony of the 47th Annual Academic Sessions of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka. I now invite Dr. D.K.D. Matthew, President of the College of General Practitioners of Sri Lanka, to award Professor Vajra Disanayaka, our chief guest today, with a momentum. Thank you. Thank you, sir. May I kindly request you all to rise as the procession of our distinguished dignitaries leaves the hall.